necessarily. You don't have to have necessarily an ill will. People talk about like, oh, with narcissists you need to, or people who are personality disorder, you're walking on eggshells all the time. Not just them. It could be anyone with any kind of issues that they're not working to resolve and not going to therapy to fix. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own behavior and your own behavior alone. You cannot control other people's or change other people's behavior. You can only control how you react to other people's behavior. And when you're dealing with someone where you have to walk on eggshells and tiptoe around them, when they explode on you, it could be tempting to react and to explode back. And by doing that, sometimes, not always, but sometimes you're either A, giving them what they want, or B, making the problem worse. So, in that kind of toxic dynamic where you the otherwise, more or less in this situation, emotionally healthy person, if you're walking on eggshells, and when they get all volatile and reactive towards you, if you react back, your way of taking responsibility for your own behavior is to get away from them. Basically, more or less, remove them from your space. Because oftentimes, as the emotionally healthy person, you will be the one who takes responsibility for anything. You will apologize for saying, I'm sorry, I lost my cool on you, and blah, blah, blah. And they will weaponize, sometimes, depending on how malignant they are, or even out of their mind they will weaponize your accountability and turn it around against you. So that is why it is better to walk alone than to walk on eggshells, because walking alone, yes, it can be lonely, but at least you can do whatever you want. And the first time I got a hard hit of this lesson was actually when I was 5. I was hanging out around with my 3 friend group. They were very mean. They were bullying me and treating me like garbage. And I withdrew from them, and I played by myself. And while it was to an extent lonely, I realized it's better this way than to be with some people who control me and treat me like crap. And then they invited me to their friend group, and then I foolishly joined in. And then they started treating me like crap, again. And basically, I had this moment of realization, but I quickly fell back into my old ways of coming back to people who were mistreating me as a 5-year-old. But as I grew older, dealing with those people, I'd start to retaliate and counterattack. And when I would, I'd be the one who would be labeled as the bad kid or get in trouble. But after a while, right around the time of grade 10, I decided, you know what? I've had enough of all this nonsense, this cycle of instigation and retaliation and people provoking me and people shoving a microscope up my rear end. So, you know what? I'm just going to withdraw. I've had enough of everyone's nonsense. See you later. And that's how I lived for a while up until I was 18, and then, that urge for connection kind of cropped up, but again, got mixed in with the wrong person, wrong people, and it ended badly for me. So basically, where I am now as a 24-year-old is realizing this on an objective level. I process this, but on an emotional level, I am still in the process of processing this. There's a word salad for you, and I'm basically going to walk my own path alone until I find like-minded people that I can just be myself around, and not have to worry about someone getting upset at me for saying this or doing that or whatever. Someone who will more or less accept me. This is not to say that I should never be called out on my schnitzel. I definitely am capable of messing up if I genuinely do something wrong, which upsets someone, most of the time unintentionally. It's still okay for people, to say, yo, I don't like that. understand how truly disastrous that is for autistic people. Just look at the extraordinary high rates of suicide in autistic women because of masking. Because women are more pressured or socialized to, and pressured to be more social by our society. And men are less pressured so, but I to an extent can relate to this, but not fully because I'm still a dude. So the solution, if anyone doesn't like the general way that I am, I can evaluate it and I can say, do I want to change this about myself? Am I willing and or able to change this? If the answer to any of those two, question number 1 and 2, to either of them is no, then I will tell that person, I understand it upsets you when I say do this, but I'm going to keep saying act this, and if it upsets you, you are free to walk away. My days of people pleasing are over. Well, not completely over. We all need to please people in certain ways. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We do need a sense of community, but when it comes at the cost of you having to basically create this false persona and walk on eggshells. Now, so in summary, this is a bit of a ramble, and I'm sorry if my thoughts are disorganized, but in summary, it's better to walk alone than to walk on eggshells.